golf musings. I didn't do a live last week because I was on my way home from Walton Heath Golf Club, where I played 36 holes in a society, Stock Exchange Golf Society day, which was really, really good. First time at Walton Heath, really enjoyed the course. It was an interesting mix of felt very, very open. There's so much space, so much land that they've got that the golf course is built on, but equally like kind of tight with like landing areas and places to aim and that sort of stuff. Managed 36 holes with the same ball. My playing partners were pretty good at spotting them in the heather. I was pretty good at getting them out the heather as well. So I guess my practice at Little Stone out of deep rough and just getting like super steep and choppy on it stood me in good stead. I think I scored like 31 points for each round. It was singles in the morning and foursomes in the afternoon. So yeah, really, really good time. So yesterday, obviously we had the Ryder Cup, which I was a little bit worried after Saturday that it was going to be a boring affair, and it was just going to be done in the first 3 matches. That was not the case. Nail biting to the end. Congratulations to Team Europe. Well done to the USA guys for putting on a massive performance, a big old rally, on the last day. Singles clearly their format, clearly, they were up for it. So yeah, like super good. Love match play, love all the different formats of it, and it was super good to watch. I thought what was quite interesting, and obviously all the press and social media has been awash with people talking about the fans and the bad attitudes and the way people have been behaving. I kind of want to talk about that, but not in the same way. Like it was said on the TV coverage here in the UK that a lot of players thrive on that sort of stuff. I think Justin Rose really seemed to rise to that occasion. Someone called him Grandad at one point and he stiffed it. Rory, the same thing, got into a heated debate with some of the fans and then stuck it to 2 or 3 feet. And I think that's definitely something that you can see for a lot of the guys that have played in the European sides for some time are wound up into good performance rather than being wound up and it getting to them and letting them down. And so I played match play on Saturday in the East Kent League, halved my match. Unfortunately, had a putt for the win and left it in the jaws, which I'm still kicking myself about. But something happened during that match. I was putting for a bogey. No, I was putting for par. My partner had a putt for a birdie, and they said I could have my par putt. And the reason they did it was to stop me putting on the same line as my partner and giving him a read for the birdie. So we halved in pars if he didn't make the bird, and it wound me up. And I just think like those sort of match play tactics, and it didn't wind me up to make me play bad. It just made me really determined to play good. And the next tee shot that I hit after that was the best shot I hit all day. And that kind of winding people up into playing well is something you've got to be careful with. I'm definitely one of the guys that responds positively to that kind of negative pressure. Another thing I noticed in the Ryder Cup, and I've noticed all throughout the year, is a lot of people using Superstroke putter grips. I've used one in the past. I'm currently using one on my gamer. I spoke about it in the last one. After a while, after like 18 holes, definitely after 36 holes, it feels a bit too fat for me. So I'm just trying to find the right one to play with. But so I've got a Tour 2.0, Zenergy Tour 2.0, which is pretty wide. Like if you compare it to the Ping, I think these are Ping 58 gram ones. Like that's this is the grip that your playing partner told you not to worry about. It's it's substantial. It's straight all the way down, which is kind of interesting. So that's the 2.0. I've also got a Pistol GT 2.0, which is kind of like a similar width, maybe a bit wider, but in this dimension it's significantly wider. So I'm kind of interested in trying this in the 1.0 and trying the other Superstroke in the 1.0. I'm having a putter made for me soon and need to make a decision on the grip. I mean, it's not like a life affirming decision, 30 quid for another grip, just cut it off and stick another one on. Not a big deal, but yeah, something I want to think about. Interestingly, so I've been putting. Last week I hit a lot of putts, putted really well again this week, which was good. This feels really good in my hands. There's so much space, like when you take the grip, like there's so much space like under here and like in there, but it just feels like it gives the putter just a bit more of a release, and yeah, I feel like I can feel that a little bit more than these, where they're just kind of like locked in. It's like there is literally no space anywhere. Yeah, it's just like massively filling your hands. I like putters, by the way. So speaking of putters, so the one I've been using at the moment is a Odyssey. It's the cheapest one that they make, the DFX one. I like it because I like an alignment aid on top, but not in the flange. And there's basically this. I've got a silver Odyssey that's fairly similar, but with a very different insert, a harder insert. And like, yeah, the other choice you have is to get a Scotty Cameron for like £9,000 or whatever a 009 would cost you. Or you can just get a custom made one for like 500 quid from someone. So that's what I'm doing. I just don't like inserts. I like a clicky sound. I like a milled face. So that's what I'm going with. This putter I absolutely love. So it's a bit of a geeky one. So it's a Ping Answer 2. And I originally started looking for vintage Ping answers because we had a vintage competition at Littlestone. It was pre-1985 equipment, the year that I entered it. So I went around looking for cool stuff, and I got some Max Fly Australian blades, which are really cool. Actually, I should have. I'll do that another day. I'll show you the other cool stuff that I got for that competition. But anyway, I started researching these putters. I knew that I wanted an answer, basically because I know that I can putt with them. And the more I delved into like the different types and stuff, it was like a massive rabbit hole. So like they've all got the, like different years have got different, I know that's backwards, different stamps inside with different addresses. Some are patent pending, and like there's this whole deep geeky timeline that you can look into and work out when your putter's from. Anyway, so this particular one was the same one that Mark O'Meara, wherever you say it, was using, and Tiger Woods was hanging out with him. Bit of an odd couple, in my opinion, but they were hanging out, and Mark O'Meara, and Tiger said to Mark, like, "Can I have your putter?" And he's like, "No, like, why would I give it to you? Like, I'll leave it to you in my will," or something like that. He said, "But if you want to use my backup putter, which is exactly the same, like, go ahead." So the Open that year, they flew to Scotland in Mark's plane. Tiger flew with him, and he used his backup putter. And I think that Tiger missed out by winning to Mark O'Meara by one shot, using his putter. It might have been a playoff or something, but yeah, first and second. So anyway, I built this exactly the same as that putter, with the same grip and everything, and used it in the vintage competition, the Retro Cup, it's called, and putted exceptionally well with it. I mean, it's super light head weight, but with the light grip, it actually swings really nicely, and it releases through, and all good. And I played with the pro James at our course, and he just said to me, "You better carry on putting with that," and I did for a very long time. And it's the smooth face is kind of interesting. I'll see if I can find a ball. One sec. As if by magic, there was a golf ball on the floor. So Pro V1X, and it makes like it's a pretty loud noise when you hit a hard ball like that, and I really like that. I like the clickiness. I think that there's a lot to be said for the sound of a putt, and it making the feel. When I went and got fitted at Precision Golf, Mike Clark did the fitting, and he was just like, "We need to get you into something with some grooves. This polished face technology is done. You're giving up performance." And we ended up going to the Scotty Cameron mallet, which I've stopped using now. So onto the Scotty Cameron mallet, and like why it doesn't work for me. So I hit, I don't know, 200 or 300 putts the other day, and I was using the Scotty Cameron. I was using the 34-inch Odyssey putter that I showed you then, and a 35-inch Odyssey putter, just playing about, just seeing which I preferred, if one was better than the other. And really the 35-inch and the 34-inch, it's just a different feeling, but I putt almost identically with them. My eyes kind of just sit in the same place, just inside the ball, and no real thing. So I went with the 34 just because it had the bigger grip on it. The other one's just got like a standard thickness pistol grip. But what was interesting was, if I aligned the Scotty Cameron, which is the Fang style, like Odyssey 7 style, it's the Scotty Cameron 7.5. If I aligned that square to the target, it looked like it was 5 degrees open or more. It just like it was like that to my eyes. And if I shut my eyes and putt, it would go through the gate. If I left my eyes open and putted, I would hit the left-hand gate. What I did then was just play about, like, I'm always tinkering, I'm always messing about. I like to play, I enjoy golf, I like to play, I'm an addict. So moving ball position forward and back. Many years ago, I had some instruction with a guy called Bruce Rearick, who is a putting coach. Burnt Edges is his company. He does a lot of really interesting stuff. And at the time, he talked about ball position. On this day last week, if I moved the ball position quite far forward in my stance, that putter, when it was set square, started to look square. And it's something to do with the lines, the angles. But it was, visually, it had to be forward in my stance for me to see it square. And I think that Edel do a thing where they're talking about visual squareness, and like when you go for a putter fitting with Edel, they've got different shapes of putters. So like a round back might look more closed. The thinnest blade might look more open. Straight lines, that sort of thing. Not really looked into it, but I know some guys that have been fitted for Edel putters and have taught me through that. And it's like a fascinating thing. They shine a laser at a mirror on the club face, line it up square, and then they take the thing away and they show you that you're, like aiming 6 inches outside the hole or something like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And even with the blade putters, I set up open. I know I do. On Sam Putt Lab, it shows that I'm 2 degrees open, and I close it 2 degrees through the ball, and it repeats. And I know that it's not right. I know that I should be using something that I can align squarely, but currently that's not the Scotty Cameron or the Odyssey 7 that I was fitted into. So I might need another fitting, or I might just carry on playing with a blade and not worry about it. I think that there's a lot of art that goes into putting. There's a lot of kind of like you're tapping into stuff, into your subconscious performance, that sort of thing. And really, even though we play on some really true greens, like it doesn't take much to knock the ball offline. So I don't think it's like super critical. And my speed control is good, even though I'm, doing weird stuff and that. Speed control is pretty much everything. If you can get your average distance to be somewhere over the hole, some will be short, some will be long, but in general, you're over the hole, you're doing well. So yeah, that's basically what I'm geeking out on at the moment is putters. And I love putting, love short game. I love long game. If I had a TrackMan at home, I'd probably be on it instead of chatting to you guys. But that's probably a long way off in the future with a house big enough to house it and the sort of money I'd need to do it. But I'm fortunate that I've got access to a TrackMan at work. So yeah, I can definitely get a few hours in a month, and it's making a big difference to my game. So yeah, that wraps up Monday Musings. A little bit about the Ryder Cup, a little bit about match play psychology, a little bit about putters. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you do, check out some of my other content. I tried to do some on-course content the other day, managed to film my tee shot, and then the device that I'd rigged up on my trolley, as I started walking down the first fairway, it just collapsed and left my gimbal hanging on for dear life. So I'll have to revisit that at some point. I have managed to secure myself a drone off of my good friend Stu Cartwright at Good Golf Coaching. You should check out his channel. He did a video of us playing together at Littlestone with some drone footage. That's the drone that I've got because he's upgraded to like the newest DJI Mini Pro 5 or whatever it's called. It's a serious bit of kit. So yeah, hoping to get some more course content. It's hard to play golf with the cameras rolling, and it's hard to play golf, like it's hard to film well, because you're like, especially at Littlestone where we're trying to get around in 3 hours, and if you're not running 3 hours, someone's going to tell you off. The pressure's on, and it's like getting good footage is hard and playing good golf is hard, but I'm going to try my best and try and get some stuff out, because I love watching all these guys that are doing course vlogs. I think they're absolutely fascinating, and I think that even watching guys, I've seen some people off like 20 handicaps, and it's like really interesting to see their journey. And as single figure handicappers go, I'm all right. Like I'm pretty sure I do some bad stuff that you'd enjoy laughing at, but I hit some pretty good golf shots that I'm sure people would enjoy as well. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your Monday. I'm going to go and eat my dinner now, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.